Yeah. Oh, there is an emergency vehicle down there. Looks like something was happening down there, so the car knew better than I did. Above highway speeds before we hit the highway, that is new. Will it find me a parking spot? It picked a handicap spot, which I'm not. Please slow down. Please slow down. Good morning. Just leaving the hotel. I've got probably a 78-mile trip today. There's going to be 4 stops all around the Saginaw area. I'm here in Bay City. I'm going up to Kawkawlin over to, I think that's called Midland. Maybe. I always forget the name of that one. Down to Saginaw, over to Frankenmuth, and then I'll end up in Saginaw again for my hotel. You see the green arrow up there. I am in the process of downloading version 13 and the holiday update. It's going to be amazing. I'm hoping it gets downloaded by the time I get to my first facility, and I can get it installed while I'm inside. It takes about an hour to do a visit, and it takes about an hour to install the update. So that should work out very well. Then we can all get together and see what it looks like. It's probably not the way it's going to work because nothing ever works out the way I plan it. But whatever. First facility is 13 miles, 10 minutes. Nope. 13 minutes, 10 miles away. There it is. I left the hotel at 72%. I will get to my first facility at 69%. Nice. Let's just be the kind of day that it is. It's 37 degrees and it's supposed to get colder and colder as we go along. So hopefully this day is nice and easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the ride. Well, I tried to download it while I was driving. It didn't really work. So let's do this. Hopefully that's enough signal to download it while I'm inside. Then maybe I can install it at the next facility. Maybe. It said I would get here at 69%. I got here at 68%. That's probably because I didn't let the car warm up this morning. Next facility is 21 minutes away at 16 miles. Claims I'll get there at 63%, but we'll see what the car does while I'm inside. I'll probably lose a percent or two. Anyways, let me knock this place out. I'll be back in a sec. Well, I didn't make it. It got up to 68% downloaded. The Wi-Fi connection was weak, and their Wi-Fi is pretty slow. But whatevs. I'm going to switch it back to my phone and see if it'll download on the way to the next place. I hope switching between networks doesn't take away the amount that it's downloaded so far. Whatever. Next place is 21 minutes, 16 miles away. I'll get there at 63% or 62%. I already forgot because I was trying to do more than one thing at a time. Not so much fun. 61% is what it said. Holy crap. Yeah. Let's get out of here. Okay. It likes these wide shoulders confuse it. So it didn't know which lane to pick there. It chose the wrong one because it wasn't a lane, it was a shoulder. But then it corrected itself, so it's not 37 here. I keep forgetting about that. Let's do 62. And let's step on it. Oh, they filled in potholes and the car is trying to hit each and every one of them. Seriously. Sorry about all your hard work, road crew. Tesla just does not care. Sad. This, that. Is that going to make me start over? Is the question. Please slow down. Please Please slow down. No, my friend. That was not right. Tesla was going to pass a slow vehicle on the road without checking to see if the next lane was clear, and it was not. Yikesies. Glad I used the bathroom this morning. Thank you for slowing down for that. That is a wild little S curve. It should not be taken at full speed. It can be taken at full speed, but only if you're like really paying attention and there's no cars around. 76% downloaded. I think it was at 68 when I left the last facility. About 9 megs a second is it's not the fastest in the world. I am on 5G, but I've only got half bars. Can't turn here, bud. All right, thank you. I'd probably be on Wi-Fi better over there. Wow, you are really losing it today. You gonna stop here like normal? Yeah, you sure are. I'd like to know what you see there that gets you so scared. I am going to park over here because it is closest to the building. So hopefully I can be on their Wi-Fi. All right. That was a little freaky deaky. So let's talk about that truck that was hauling the equipment back there. It had its hazards on. I could only see the left hazard, which made it look like it was going to turn left. I don't think the car could see any of the hazards. I saved the clip just in case. If it's different from up here than what I could see from here, then I'll shut my mouth and I won't put this in there, but whatever. The car didn't slow down. It was just going to go around what it saw as a slow-moving vehicle in the road, which is what it was designed to do, and that's all fine and dandy. But there was a car coming, and from what I could see, it looked like the truck in front of us was turning left. That was just 2, 3 poor decisions made by the car. Just off the top of my head. One, it shouldn't have gone that fast trying to pass. It didn't make sure the oncoming lane was clear. And it didn't know if the car in front of us, the truck, was going to turn left or not. So yeah, I took over. I was going to let it do what it was going to do until I couldn't any longer. Wow. And then after that, it was just like slamming on the brakes, slamming on the brakes, slamming on the brakes. Got here at 61% as predicted. Next place is 22 minutes, 16 miles away. I should get there at 57%. You can go quick take care of this facility, and I'll be back in a sec. All right, it finished. It's updated. I'm on 13.2.1. So let's see. The camera resolution should be better. Neural network architectures are native to the AI for cars, which is what this is. 4.2 times data scaling, 5 times training compute scaling. This is supposed to be better and faster, so hopefully that's what's going to happen. Integrated unpark, reverse, and park capabilities. So that means that I can just press a button and the car will go. I don't have to put it in gear and then press the right scroll wheel in. It'll just go. Improved camera cleaning. I'm really curious about that one. Wish I had this yesterday so I could have tested it to see what it would have done. Improved reward predictions for collision avoidance. So that probably just some AI terminology that means the car rewards itself for doing good. Yay. Speed profiles on both city streets and highways. So that means that I can set hurry in like a 25 mile per hour zone too. That'd be kind of awesome. Um, Dynamic routing around road closures, which displays them along an affected route when they are detected by the fleet. So that means these cars will tell other cars that, hey, this road is shut down or is under construction. Make your way around it. That's kind of awesome. And then upcoming improvements, nobody cares about that. Start FSD from park. When enabled, a button will appear on the map when driver requirements are met and the brake pedal is pressed and released. So you put your foot on the brake, let it go, press the button on the screen, okay? Driver requirements include, but are not limited to, driver is seated in the driver's seat, driver is buckled, and the cabin camera is unobstructed. When brake confirm is disabled, pressing the button will allow autopilot to apply the brakes and engage FSD. If you enable the feature in autopilot, start FSD supervised from park. Okay, that's the release notes. Let's see what's new in the menu. Got a blue dot under service. Camera visibility. So that button was always there. No issues detected. Autopilot. FSD. Start FSD from park. Click on the info. When enabled, a button will appear on the map. Once the driver is buckled, the driver requirements are met. When the button is pressed, FSD will engage once the brake pedal is pressed and released. Brake confirm. When disabled, pressing the button will allow autopilot to apply the brakes and engage FSD. Brake confirm is enabled by default. So I want to click that and say yes and uncheck brake confirm. I know. That's what I want. That way I can just press and hold and it'll go. So it's going to the next place. Yeah, that's the next place. The problem is the map for the parking lot is not correct. So I'm going to have to take over at the end. But whatever, I have version 13. I'm sitting at 60%. The next place is 23 minutes, 16 miles away. I should get there at 56%. Let's try it. Oh, that's fantastic. Didn't have to touch anything. So if everything goes correctly, I won't have to touch the wheel at all. And unfortunately, at the next place, the map data is wrong, so I'm going to have to touch it. Are we going left? That's the wrong way, buddy. Well, maybe the car knows something I don't. This is not the way we normally go. Yeah, I've never been down this street before. This could be the whole fleet thing. Saying this road is messed up. You got to take another one. Yeah, it was doing hurry that entire time down that road. It was doing the speed limit. And that's okay. But I've been in hurry all day. Yeah, I think this is where I normally come out. So we just added extra steps, extra space. Yeah. Oh, there is an emergency vehicle down there. Looks like something was happening down there, so the car knew better than I did. Slow down gently for the railroad tracks. Like to see that. Crept up even though a car was turning in front of us. That's awesome too. Good to go. And we do. Oh, that was aggressive. Sped up nicely. Above highway speeds before we hit the highway. That is new. Oh, I love to see that. Oh, please don't ever change that behavior. That was awesome. Okay, that's kind of rude. Got in front of that truck and then slowed down, which it's right to do because the speed limit dropped to 55. Okay, still 55, bud. 70, 69. Oh, that's what I get for letting it do its thing. So I don't know if that speed thing back there was my fault because the car was rude. It got in front of the white truck and then slowed down. And I stepped on the accelerator to get it back up because I didn't want to be rude. I don't know if that signaled to the car, hey, no matter what, I still want to drive this speed in this 55-mile-an-hour zone. That's very possible, so we'll see what happens when the speed changes again. Like, we're going from a 40 to a 50. Will it speed up? Yes, and it's doing it faster than it did before. Keep going. Is this simply because there are cars around us? We're at a 55 now. Way's clear. I do feel it accelerating. Nice, nice. Only if that is the way it works all the time, I will be a happy man. It's much better. Oh, the speed, so much better. Slow down because the car in front of us is getting into the left-hand lane kind of slowly. So the car backed off. Let that car do its thing. As soon as it was clear, right back up. Way too fast. Actually, I'm going to set it down to standard and push that. You push on the speed limit sign on the screen, it resets the 40% offset. Putting it in standard maybe is the way that I need to be on these back roads. Got 2.5 miles to figure that out. Even in standard, I think 63 is too fast at a 55. I'd like 61, maybe 62. Thank you, car. Are you listening to me? So now, this another thing. I don't understand why it slowed down there. There was nothing in the way. There was no car forcing it to slow down. Is it because the turn was coming up? That would be. I mean, I suppose that would be a thing. There was some friction break at the end of that, but it wasn't too bad. Cut that turn as tight as it needed to. It wasn't uncomfortable. It's so nice to have the car do above the, I mean, this is well above the speed limit. But to not have it going super duper slow, like in a 35, it would go 30 most of the time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Wow, that complete stop was even faster than normal. I barely had time to register that it hit 0 before it was going. When we get in here, I'm going to let the car do whatever it wants to do. That pin actually looks... No, that's wrong. That's still wrong. But there are parking spots behind the building I'm going to. I'll see if the car wants to park in one of those. Five, four, three, two, 1, 0, and off it goes. I registered it that time. Is it going to find a parking spot is the question. Can't park there. No, it just dropped me off in the middle of the road. Okay, that's fine. I knew this one was going to be a challenge. I would have assumed that it would have tried to park me in one of these spots. They're not clearly marked, which could be part of a problem. Okay. So that was a little funky at the beginning. It was on the left side of the parking spot, but it fixed itself and it did it all in one move. So yay, hooray, huzzah! Got here at 55%. That was 17 miles. Took 24 minutes. 242 watt hours per mile. Even though the car was speeding. That's pretty good. All right, let me knock this place out. I'll be back in just a sec. All right, I'm all done in there. I have to run to Walmart, get one thing for work. It is 6 minutes away, 1.7 miles. I'm at 54%. It says I'll get there at 53. If I just press and hold this, we'll see if the car can get me out of this parking lot. It usually misses the exit and tries to go over there. Oh, it's getting it this time. But it would go over there and try to do a U-turn, couldn't make it. So I would have to take over and do it for it. And it left that exit rather gently, considering it's kind of a drop. So taking it too fast would have hurt. But it did good. Now I'm going to a Walmart, so maybe it'll park me there. And I realized that I only got FSD 13. I didn't get the holiday update. But I did read an article that said AI3 cars are getting the holiday update this week, and next week it will be AI4 cars, which is kind of surprising. You would think the AI4 cars would get them first. But AI3 is getting left behind with the FSD software, so let them have it first. It's fine. I was looking forward to seeing the weather on the map. That truck wasn't paying attention to the light. I was stopping at a green light. Sad. Tesla had no problems with it. Stopped and waited, as it should. Slowed and waited, as it should. And will it find me a parking spot? And if it does, will it be a decent one? Because Walmart has 2 entrances. Will it pick the correct one? Oh, okay, that was the end of the drive according to it. So it still hasn't parked me yet. But that also is different behavior. Before it would say you're here, autopilot is ending, and it would just randomly drive around. But now it actually ends the trip. So there's a person getting in their car. This car, extra cautious, stopped. And that's okay. Perfectly centered. Nothing's different about auto park. Um, Last time I got out, my charge port just opened randomly on its own. I had to close it through the app. I don't know if anyone else has experienced that. Or should I make a service appointment for that issue too? Let me know down below. All right, I'll be back in a sec. I'm all set in there. Next place is 28 minutes away, 19 miles. I should get there at 47%. I'm sitting at 53 right now. See if the car can get me out of the parking spot. Yeah, as I was walking to my car to put what I bought in the trunk, the charge port popped open. So that's the second time in 2 stops. Last thing I need is somebody pour water or something in my charge port and it's freezing outside. It could have just turned into this lane. It didn't need to turn into this one. Put on the blinker and get over. And you are okay. You're turning. Okay. I thought I was gonna try to be nice and let that person go first. I was just about to say there's a bus with its flashers on ahead of us. The car got over. Right when I thought about it, the car took care of it. Love to see it. Car was doing 45 and a 40. Mr. McDonald here pulled out in front of me. We slowed down to 39, 38, 30 something. And rather than trying to pass them, it stayed behind the old McDonald car. I don't E-I-E-I-O. Why? God, that was stupid. I'm ashamed of myself. I'm sorry. It's okay if you click off on the video now. This time we're going to go around, but that lane is closed. Car hasn't been so good at lane closures in the past. It's got a little while to figure it out. No, I do need to get over. It put on the blinker. That car let me in, so sweet. That was well done. Our exit is in 1.1 miles, and the car decided to get over here. I like that move. Because if it still wants to pass somebody, it has plenty of time. It could. Instead of waiting until 0.3 miles and getting over, this is much better. Nice long exit ramp. Let's see if the car gets off the highway at 79. I could say that was a pass. It was more than halfway off of the highway before it started decelerating. So yeah, that's good. Better than what it did last time. I think it dropped by 5 or 6 miles per hour before it got off the highway. Yeah. So even with that truck jumping over and shortening the amount of stopping distance this car had, and it still did all of that with regen. It didn't touch the friction brakes at all. It was the most gentle stop I think this car has ever done. Hooray. Same exact stop. Beautiful. I'm really liking the stops a lot better so far. When it adds the friction brakes, it's not a lot, so you barely even notice it. But these regen brakes are freaking delicious. Man, even that was mostly regen. The tiniest little bit of friction brakes. And that was somewhat aggressive stopping. Yeah, I can't complain. All right, it's pulling into the parking lot. Will it find me a parking spot? No, it's still not. That's weird. All right, that leg was 20 miles, took 27 minutes, 232 watt hours per mile. It's amazing. I'm loving it. Hotel is 22 minutes away, 19 miles. Should get there at 40%. And there's a charger there. It's a 20 amp, 220 volt. So it's not the fastest in the world, but if I get there at 40%, I've got most of the night because I'm going to go get dinner. If I've got most of the night to charge by tomorrow morning, I should be up to 80. It shouldn't have a problem putting 40% into the battery tonight. Let me knock this place out and I'll be right back. So there's definitely a delay between clicking my seatbelt and that being ready to start, which I'm not 100% sure I understand why. And for the third time, my charge port just opened on its own. I'm gonna have to investigate that. 40% when I get there, still 22 minutes, still 19 miles. So it's got to back up to get me out of here. So here we go. Nice. Did it. That's wonderful. That is wonderful. So we're doing 38 and a 35. This is going to be a 55 here in a second. 39. 55. You can even feel the acceleration. I felt it push forward, and it's getting me up there. That is much better than the previous versions. And it's not stopping. We're at 55. It's still a little slow getting up there, but that's okay. It's getting up there. 59, perfect. Even 60's perfect. That was probably my biggest annoyance with the car. When the speed limit changed to 55, it would sit at 35 because that's what it was doing. You tap on the accelerator and it's like, oh, I got to change my speed. Then up it goes. But now, it seems to be doing great. Don't go much faster than this in standard. That's crazy. All right, thank you. I don't know if I've got another offset down here. 7 miles per hour. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But 62 and a 55, that's a 7 mile per hour difference. I don't know. Immediately. I love that. So this car is going slower than this car wants to go. And before we were even at our max speed, the car realized that that car was going real slow and went around. And as soon as we got past him, it went back into this lane, which is amazing. V13 is doing awesome right now. I'm telling you. There's a cop sitting there, if you guys didn't see that. Past him. I'm going to step on the accelerator to go back to, hopefully, the 78 we were doing. 79 is fine. That's a real good nonchalant way to slow down. If I had taken FSD off, if I had just turned it off, the car would have, and didn't put my foot on the accelerator, the car would have max regen and the nose would have dipped. It would have been pretty obvious that I was trying to slow down. But that was nice and slow. Like a Usher. Man, this is what. Oh, I love you so much. This is wonderful. I've finished that curve, which was less than the speed limit of the highway would allow. I think it was like 64 or 68, something like that. But as soon as we got out of the curve, sped up to the correct speed. Oh, the fact that I don't have to sit there and stare at the screen to see what speed the car is going, to make sure it's doing the right thing, puts me at such ease. It's so less stressful, which is crazy because I'm not driving. I shouldn't be stressed out over the car. But the fact that it's doing the correct thing on its own, oh, oh. I was not even paying attention to what speed the car was going when we got off the highway because I have not been concerned about the car speed at all, which is crazy because that's all I've ever complained about. Oh, it's so nice not to have to worry about it. There are two entrances to this hotel. In the past, the car has always taken the first one. It would be better if it took the second one. It's probably going to take it the first one, but I'm going to let it do what it wants to do. What would be even more impressive is if it parked me in the EV charging spot. Then I'd be really impressed. But so far, it hasn't parked me at all. Yeah. Oh, it's going for the second one. Noise. Noise. So yeah, if it could park me right next to the white car here, that would be great. Who knows what it's going to do? It parked me. Or are you going to back up? Okay. So this is a terrible parking job. It didn't end in navigation. It picked a handicap spot, which I'm not. Wheels moving. It's doing some kind of thinking. It's better than just stopping me in the middle of the driveway, I suppose. Some creaking like the brakes released. All right, that's enough of that. We're going to back up and park in the EV parking spot. Okay. Overall, since I got the update, I think it's great. I think there's a bug in there somewhere because after every one of my facilities, and even after I came out of Walmart, I got in the trunk. And after the trunk being open for, I don't know, 30 seconds maybe, the charge port pops open. I don't know why that is. Speed is way better. Braking is way better. This is just initial assessment. It could be completely wrong. I have no idea. Because I've had 12.5.6.4 for like a week, and I thought the braking was way better until yesterday when I was just slamming on the brakes like crazy. In fact, the beginning of this drive, it was gonna not stop at all and go around a slow moving truck without checking to see if oncoming traffic was clear or anything, or even if the truck in front of us was going to turn left or not. It didn't know. It was just going to do it. It was a little bit scary. That was the most scared I've been with this car driving. Yeah. Speed choices on the highway are much better. In fact, I swapped from hurry to standard because hurry was actually going too fast. Which is kind of crazy, but I still like it because I like the way standard chooses its lanes. It gets out of the passing lane way sooner than hurry does. And chill doesn't pass at all. So standard is my jam. That leg was 19 miles. It was 23 minutes. Used 265 watt hours per mile. Today I drove 89 miles and used 23 kilowatt hours. And today's efficiency was 253 watt hours per mile, which is just almost 4 miles per kilowatt, which is kind of awesome. Considering it's 37 degrees. I think it was 39 when I started this morning. Pretty flippin' awesome. So I got here 40%. I'm going to plug in, go get checked in. And guys, thanks for watching. Seriously. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments, or concerns, just leave them down below and I'll get to you as soon as possible. So thanks for watching. Deuces. Yeah, that took a while.